Religious bullshit, religious bullshit, religious bullshit. It's time for religious bullshit. It's time for religious bullshit.
Yeah, somebody said, H-Bomber guy does okay. Well, he doesn't do live stream, does he? As far as I can tell. Does he do live stream? I've never seen any live stream. I'm talking about people that do live streaming. Like people on the left who do live streaming. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm glad you love me, but I can't like feed my cats on love. I can't keep the lights on with love, right? So, I mean, what you gonna do? Anyway, starting us off with MAGA pastor Mark Burns, and don't think he read the Bible or something. Maybe the words in red, the words of Jesus, don't mean anything to him. Or, you know, like most Christians, he doesn't actually give a shit. They're about nothing. So here he is telling you exactly what Jesus wants you to do when somebody slaps you on the cheek.
God only made two genders. I can't hear nobody.
God didn't make any genders. Man made genders. This is roles that are put upon us by our fellow man, not any kind of all-knowing supernatural God, dude.
You got to get to the point where you realize that when they smack you in the face,
Turn the other cheek?
you smack them back 2 times harder.
Yeah, fuck Jesus. What the hell did Jesus know about Christianity? Slap the trans people, abuse them. We're Christians. We're the good guys, y'all.
Oh, y'all thought I was about to say something else.
No, I knew you were trash.
The Bible said that we take the violence, take it, and we take it by force.
Oh, great.
We are here to ready to take this nation back. And I believe without a shadow of a doubt, the only man that God has anointed here in 2024 to be the next president of the United States of America. And that is Donald J.
I can't hear you. It's all professional wrestling, folks. This sweaty grease blood.
Are you ready, America?
I'm ready for you to have a heart attack, fat man.
Are you ready,
Die already,
America?
immediately. Please. His clothes are tighter than mine
That's why
are.
we come to declare war on this transgender agenda
Oh,
that's
no.
trying to destroy our children's minds in the United States of America.
Yeah, you're talking about Christianity. Once again, that's what you're talking about. Christianity is, what is indoctrinating the children? Not the trans agenda, but keep it up, motherfuckers. All the same. 402 viewers. Just... that all religious bullshit. Yep. Eric Hahn. Nature is clear. So clear. Women ought to have long hair. I mean, don't lions have long hair? Aren't there lots of animals that have long hair that are male? I guess it doesn't matter. And men short. Long hair on a woman is her glory. Long hair on a man is his disgrace. Oh, it's a good thing that there are no pictures of Jesus with long hair. Always buzz cut mohawk. Somebody has a mohawk, right? If I remember that correctly. And he's never wearing like a long flowing dress-like robe either, from what I can remember. So spot on, Eric Hahn. You definitely know a lot about Christianity. And then... oh, yeah, remember this hunky dude, but he's all confused because he's watching trans porn. He feels guilty and shit and thinks it's demonic to pleasure yourself. Well, anyway, apparently he's out in public and finding demonic portals, and there are demons just that you can see with your own eyes, and he has the proof. So let's have a look so we can believe.
You don't think Jesus Christ is real.
I don't.
And they shove demonic images right in your face.
Okay, that's whatever that is. That's pretty fucking cool. It's like a big screen, some kind of 3D imaging, but it's not demonic.
There's demonic portals all over. We live
There
in
aren't.
the days of Noah.
We don't.
We live in the days where demons walk manifesting. Women look like prostitutes and hookers.
That's always been the case because a lot of them are prostitutes and hookers, sex workers, real work.
Where has the modesty gone? Where has the reverent fear of the Lord gone?
We don't give a
this
shit.
right here is a demonic portal.
That is not a demonic portal.
Shove it straight in your face.
Yeah, that's
You got
not
the evil spirits
anything.
right there
That's
coming
not
out
a
of the portal,
evil
and they're
spirit.
telling you
That's not a
right
portal.
in your face exactly what they're doing. And you have all these satanic symbols. There you go, man. And they're summoning evil spirits
Oh, no.
in your major cities. Los Angeles. I'm in Dallas, Texas right now. Dude,
What about minor cities? I want my demons here in Grenada. God damn it, devil. Come on. Think about us little guys.
You got to be aware. Just walking through Dallas, Texas for 15 minutes, and you have pagan gods, images of them everywhere. You got demonic portals, which I just took a video of.
Yeah, that's bullshit. No, you didn't.
We are living in the last days. It's shoved in your face. And are you right with Jesus Christ? Are you?
And once again, last time was his forehead had zits on him. Now it's his nose. Just saying, God, not a big fan of you not having acne.
Living in sin, or have you picked up your cross? Do you have a reverent fear of the Lord?
I don't have any fear of the Lord.
Now's the time.
No, thank you. I would have no fear whatsoever. You'll never burn me. I'll be your heretic. And then, over at Trump Darrell, pastors for Trump, which shouldn't be a thing, you know, if we actually taxed the churches like we're supposed to if they get involved politically. I had an event kicked off with prayer asking God to intervene in the affairs of this nation. So much for free will, I guess.
Father, tonight we declare there is none like you. There is none beside you. None can compare and nobody can compete with you. You are God all by yourself.
Why does he need you to tell him that? Why does God need you to suck his dick? I swear to God, yo, I'm not like godlike in any way. I'm not even that popular, but even I feel odd and awkward when people praise me too much or put me on a pedestal. Why am I better than God in this respect? Why he's so insecure that he requires you guys to constantly lick his ball sack?
And you are the King of the United States of America.
Okay.
And we ask that you would intervene in the affairs of our nation in this moment right now.
That's right. Intervene, God. Destroy our free will. I mean, yeah, that's what we say when we say, hey, God allowed this little girl to get raped and murdered. Hey, God allowed these kids to die of starvation, 20,000 every day. God allowed all this horrible suffering because he doesn't interfere in free will. But sometimes he does when we ask it nicely. Just interfere in our free will and make Trump president, God. Hey, fuck all those kids that are getting raped. Who cares about them? They deserve it because of free will. But everything else, God, interfere, please, immediately.
For our nation is in trouble, but our nation knows a God who rescues his people when we find ourselves in trouble. We lift up President Donald Trump.
We don't do that.
And we ask that you would give him divine wisdom.
Oh, God.
You would surround
any
him
wisdom.
with counselors that are for him and not against him. That you would surround him with counselors that are for America and not against America. We ask that you would give him a wisdom that only comes from you to make decisions and to have divine discernment for the issues that he faces ahead of him. Father, we pray that you would awaken the hearts of pastors all over this nation to realize pastors have a vital role in saving the United States of America.
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to stay out of politics or else you lose your tax status. Man, I wish we had anybody that was willing to stand up to these churches, but I know Biden's not going to do it. I know no president's ever going to do it. That's why they don't give a shit about the rules. They just keep interfering in our politics over and over again. Oh, yep, up to 480 now. Woo, woo. And, I'll take shit that I rabbit for 500. Once again, Alex Josh Dahl said, someone at church told me her granddaughter studying education in college has 10 to 20 points deducted from her assignments if they are missing her pronouns. Yeah, bullshit. Is it 10 or 20 points? How many? Do they just randomly take? Sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 20. Just whatever the teacher's feeling like that day if you don't put your pronouns. Definitely true. He's a Christian and he wouldn't lie. The next generation of teachers is being thoroughly indoctrinated to indoctrinate your kids. That's the word indoctrinated too many times in the same sentence. You aren't prepared enough. Yeah, I'm prepared for your lies, motherfucker. Yeah, you are bullshit. And I see right through you. Hear the cats in there. And the fuck are those cats doing? And then, of course, more molestation this week. From Not a Drag Queen, Ohio. Catholic priest found guilty on child sex charges. Of course, I'm not going to cover too many more of these because I'm so tired of covering pedophiles week in and week out. But, as always, it's the Christians fucking your children every goddamn week, forever, always. Crickets from the right. And, one more! Just to make us happy. Blobfish! Hell yeah, I think we can all agree. Wow. Wow. Anyway, apparently, QAnon prophet Dave Hayes wants you guys to know there's a good reason that none of the shit they promised was going to happen any 5 seconds now has actually happened. Let's have a listen.
Much of what Q posts is disinformation.
Oh, wow.
It's not factual.
Okay.
Intentional disinformation.
Oh, cool. They're lying to us on purpose. Great.
Much more of what Q has posted over the last 6 years, a lot more of it is disinformation than most people are comfortable admitting.
Okay.
All right. So I just have to leave that out there. Q posted a lot of disinformation, especially. So anytime Q posted a prediction about an arrest, it was disinformation.
Oh.
Every single time. There
Cool.
was a prediction about an arrest. It was disinformation. Q uses these predictions, these overt predictions, to get the deep state to make moves that work to President Trump's advantage.
That's right, folks. Yeah, they told you. All these arrests are going to happen any 5 seconds now. They promised you. But it was all misinformation on purpose, which is good. It's a good thing they lied to us all because it just helped Trump somehow, even though he lost miserably and he's not doing great overall in the poll. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's all part of the plan. Where they go, one they go. Oh, wow. Wow. That is my religious bullshit. What we got to say about that? Data sex at pause. What shirt are you going to wear to the interview? I don't know what we're talking about. Thanks for blocking his blobfish face with your nice one. Oh, I didn't even realize that I blocked his face, but wow. I did you guys a favor. Absolutely. That's a title for your resume. All right, cool. Disinformation is not nearly as common as these people think. They see it everywhere. I mean, it was just Ron Watkins, right? Ron Watkins lying and just saying whatever vague bullshit he can to get clicks on his pedo site 8chan. Like we all know what the fuck's going on, right? And all right, move right along. Let's do a little. Welcome to this week, folks. Gotta love Ryan Santos. Whiny piss, baby. First off, on this week's Woke, hey, did you guys know robots have a gender? I mean, only makes sense. I mean, they're not biological beings, and they weren't technically born with peni nor vaginae, either one. But the programmers, I guess, programmed the gender roles into them, and the programmers only programmed 2 gender roles, right? That's the only options, apparently. It's binary, ones and zeros. So you're either a male robot or you're a female robot. Somehow, don't think about it. Don't worry about it. But anyway, what if you're a robot that was like, hey, I don't have a penis or a vagina. Doesn't that make me non-binary? Doesn't that make me something else than these 2 choices? Since I'm not a sexual being in any way, I don't actually have sex organs. It doesn't really make sense for me to be one gender or another. Apparently, on the latest Transformers children's cartoon, one of the robots has this revelation, and oh, hell no, you don't. They freaking out about it in Chudville. You telling me that Transformers are trans? I just don't believe it. I mean, you would think if they were trans, there would be some kind of hint that the Transformers were. I just don't see it. Wokeness. They're going to go broke. All of the brokenness for the Transformers. So anyway, Ollie London, human purge mask. Shocking clip. So shocking. From children's animation show Transformers. Teaching children about being non-binary and trans, which sort of seems appropriate for the Transformers, but no, horrible, horrible, scary. Be afraid. I'd be very afraid. And then Matt Gaetz, still on the Budweiser bullshit. Rapey McForehead would like you guys to know, hey, he would rather give beer to first graders than hormone blockers. But I'm just saying, like, if a first grader is going through puberty, then you should probably give them hormone blockers because, puberty blockers. Because if you're a first grader going through puberty, that's called precocious puberty, and it's actually really unhealthy for you. You shouldn't be going through it at that age. You should be like 12 or 13 at least, which is really the whole point of the puberty blockers in the first place, is to help you not have precocious puberty and go through it when it's harmful to your health or whatnot. Anyway, let's let Rapey McForehead explain to us.
crazy.
I've said this before. Put Tucker Carlson's face on that beer can. I think you'll get some of your audience back.
Well, this has been so much. And the woman, the Harvard and Wharton School woman that made this incredibly horrible decision will go down in history, and she'll be taught in business school for generations to come, too. She's still on leave, by the way, so she's still presumably
canceled.
her salary.
Yeah, she's probably in a safe space trying to meditate, figure out what she did wrong. But come on, Dylan Mulvaney
trying to expand their
Bud
base.
Light, that's a safe space.
Well, you know what? It's about the Democrats politicizing absolutely everything.
Yeah, it's the Democrats politicizing absolutely everything. It's right-wing Budweiser who donates way more to right-wingers than they do the left. And they're the ones that sent the cans to this one person to put on their own website. They didn't put them in stores or anything. And you are the ones who freaked out about it, made it a giant issue, pasted it everywhere, made it a national story. So, yes, you guys are the ones that politicize everything.
And this whole transgender push from kindergarten and first grade, and everywhere you look, the Democrat Party.
I'd rather give them a Bud Light than a vasectomy. Like if you had to.
Yeah, like literally nobody has given first graders vasectomies. What do you even? They just like isn't lying like part of your whole Christian thing? You're not supposed to do it. It's just crazy how easily it flows from your lips.
Choose Bud Light or gender blockers. I'd go with the Bud Light for the first graders.
No, if a first grader needs a puberty blocker, that's the right move, not Budweiser, rapey.
Crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with neither, actually.
All right, and that's that.
So, yikes! Always fear-mongering all the time with their goddamn stupidity. And then, on Woke Panic. Couple assaulted outside liquor store over suspected Bud Light purchase. So that's bad enough. You got these people that are so crazy, these right-wing goons, so out of their mind with all the fear-mongering and trans panic that has been pushed on them by people like Tim Pool and all of the right-wing influencers, right? Yet Tim Pool, who is responsible for causing this stochastic terrorism, of course, his response is to blame the beer. He posted this story, couple assaulted outside liquor store over a suspected Bud Light purchase, and his response is, Bud Light has become so toxic, people are getting attacked. Literally, this man is the one causing his audience to freak out, causing them to be so outraged that they go out and commit violence. And then, when they go out and do exactly what he is programming them to do, he blames the beer. These are the people that take no responsibility for anything. Nothing is their fault. They cause the problem and then blame the fucking problem, man. Gonna make $50 million a year doing this shit, folks. And then, I agree with Aaron Rupert. It's very telling where the right is at, that stuff like this is even controversial. Look how horrible. Just be you and feel the love. Outrageous, isn't it? I dare you to teach kids to love themselves, have high self-esteem, not to bully each other. I mean, how do you get outraged by stuff like this and not know that you're the bad guy? I guess they don't give a shit, though. They know they're the bad guys, and they don't really give a shit. They revel in it, right? They get rewarded for it, so why not continue to be the bad guy? Why not continue to be evil? All in the name of God. And that is my woke panic for this week. Hell yeah. Oh, we got to say DSPs. It's the beer's fault, I know, right? My audience goes out and kills somebody. It's the beer's fault. It's your fault. Never my fault. No responsibility whatsoever. Tuck is a real man, I know, right, with his little bow ties. The right is full of nothing but alpha males and sigma males, every one of them. We just can't compete. Maybe someday. And move right along, folks. Oh, did I have one more? Oh, I had one more on Woke Panic. God damn it. What? Got a little ahead of myself. Oh, yeah, it was this one. So, this is Ron Atznor. I want you guys to know. These gays and trans are getting out of hand, he says, as he posts a story about a Colorado baker once sued over a gay couple's wedding cake, now in court over refusing to make a birthday cake for a transgender woman. You can't do that, right? I mean, if you open your business up to the public, you can't discriminate based on trans and sexual orientation, race, that sort of thing. It makes sense. I mean, The only reason your business is open is because of taxpayer money, right? It's taxpayers who paid the roads leading to your business. It's taxpayers who paid for the public education that educates your employees. It's taxpayers that paid for the military that keeps your business safe, and the police and the fire department, right? We're all in this together. So you can't take from society that has allowed your business to exist from the first place and then discriminate against some of those taxpayers that allowed you to be in business to begin with, right? Makes sense. These gays and trans are getting out of hand and really need to be put back in their place. Let's just misgender. I'm not even going to call them a human gender. Be okay if you misgendered. I mean, it wouldn't be okay. It'd be better. But no, just completely dehumanizing. It knew how the bakery felt about the mentality or the mentally unstable. Go to a gay or trans baker. I know there has to be several in Colorado. That's right, I'm so above you. I'm so morally superior to you. You Don't make somebody that doesn't want to bake you a cake. You fucking subhumans. And then next thing you know, oh, is this you, Rod? Man drugged and raped his biological daughter during first meet since her adoption, say police. That is you. Who would have possibly guessed you were some kind of weird creepo? So apparently this guy gave his daughter up for adoption 20 years ago or somewhat, and then she contacted him, wanted to get together, and the very first day they got together, he drugged and raped her. Yeah. But at least he didn't bake anybody a cake against his will, so I guess he's okay? I don't know. Enjoy prison, fucko! And that is my woke panic for this week. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, I know, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I know. All of it. Gross. Just when you think conservatives can't get any grosser, somehow they find a way to top themselves. You are too lazy to hit the like. Yes, everybody too lazy to hit the like. Did it catch up? I got 576 now. That's still terrible, but whatever. And move along, folks. Got a little something I like to call He Shall Be Elon. And bad day for Elon, which means it's a great day for the rest of us. First off, Mr. Free Speech has decided to shadow ban Bellingcat. So Bellingcat is a independent news website. They do in-depth journalism. Try to get to the bottom of stories. You guys might remember the Allen, Texas shooter was a Nazi. Yes, he had Latin genetics, but he was a full-blown fucking Nazi. I explained why on the last show. We went into it, but immediately Elon Musk was denying that this guy was a Nazi, even though he had swastikas and the SS lightning bolts tattooed on him, and he put out a manifesto explaining why he's a Nazi. Elon was like, how do we know these social media accounts that have been directly and proven to be his are his? Seems very odd. He would have a Russian social media account. Yeah, is it odd that a right-winger would have a social media account from Russia? Doesn't seem that odd to me, especially since they have no censorship. They allow him to say whatever racist Nazi shit he wants to, which is why he was there. So Bellingcat is the one that broke the story that, yes, these were his accounts, and they came with all the receipts and all the information. One of the reporters, Eric Toller, explains to Elon. Allen, Texas shooter posts identification cards, guns, body armor, a speeding ticket with his name, hours of video of him at shooting ranges at his apartment, photos of his tattoos seen on the shooter's body, a map of the mall 3 weeks before he shot it up, a final message, all of it. And Elon still denying it. So, of course, Elon shadow bans the guy's account. Elon trying so hard to cover up for Nazis that he's shadow banning independent journalist accounts to make sure you can't come across it. Yep, if you go to explore, most people who type in @Bellingcat don't get it shown to them. It shows other things, but not their account. And if you search for it, yes, the search suggestion is banned. So, super cool from Mr. Free Speech. Desperate to cover up for white supremacists and Nazis. He's banning independent journalism, folks. Tell me this guy is the king of free speech. And, yep. This also might have something to do with it. I have no idea, but apparently when you type in the word cat into the search thing, it comes up with tons of videos of people putting cats in blenders and animal torture. Yeah. Animal torture videos have been spreading far and wide all over Twitter. Now, they interviewed some of the people that used to run the, I guess, the safety measures on Twitter. The blockers. They had an entire algorithm in place to ensure this doesn't happen, with multiple redundancies. So if one of them failed, another one would back it up. And they said that it's obvious that if this is happening now, Elon must have just disabled the entire thing. He must have scraped all of it, almost like it was done on purpose. So that's what Elon's been fighting this week, a Twitter full of animal cruelty videos, torture, murder of animals, while he's busy covering up the important shit, like independent journalists trying to out Nazis, right? This is why your advertisers are not returning, Elon. No matter how focused the new CEO you put in place is on getting the advertisers to return, it's not going to happen. You've already fucked it up. And Tucker Carlson, I guess, has, even though Elon says they haven't made a deal, they made some kind of deal where apparently Tucker Carlson is going to start doing a show on Twitter. Because, you know, Elon wants to be completely politically neutral. He is not right-wing at all, folks. That's why he's begging Tucker Carlson to come to a show on Twitter. You know, completely fair and balanced, both sides. He even specifically said, I'm not going to have any kind of like favoritism towards Tucker Carlson. Elon says, on this platform, unlike the one-way street of broadcast, people are able to interact, critique, and refute whatever is said unless I shadow ban them. And of course, anything misleading will get community notes, which you do block when people put community notes on your shit that you don't want them to. And also that you're in charge of all that. So you control what community notes show up on stuff, right? Anyway, I also want to be clear that we have not signed a deal of any kind whatsoever. Tucker is subject to the same rules and rewards of all content creators, but we know that's not true because we know you're going to be using your platform to signal boost for him, right? Whenever you favorite something, whenever you like something, whenever you retweet something, it doesn't just show up on your timeline, it shows up on all of our timeline, which is how you have it set, right? So you will be using the full weight of Twitter to push traffic to Tucker Carlson. You know you're going to do that. It's not the same thing you're going to do to people like me. My shit doesn't get special treatment on Twitter. You're definitely not going to do this for any other left-wing media, just like you haven't thus far. So it's just a fucking lie. Every word out of your fucking mouth is a lie, Elon. So yeah, I'm not going to read the rest of it. It doesn't matter. And, but don't worry, folks. It's all part of God's plan, of course. God is using Tucker Carlson and Twitter to spread his message. Let's have a listen.
What is happening here that thrills me is poor Elon Musk, man.
Poor Elon Musk.
The hand of God. Look at
poor Elon Musk. It's so tough being the richest human on the planet who runs one of the largest social media websites on earth. That's awful, horrible to be him. He the victim here, y'all.
how big God is, folks. This is why our prayers are being answered. See your prayers. Elon Musk buys Twitter. He loses $20 billion, overpays for it. It's hurting his portfolio.
Yeah, poor Elon for being such a stupid businessman. He overpaid for something. He really didn't overpay for it. It's just that he destroyed it when he got in there, right? I mean, Twitter was just about making a profit. They had huge advertising dollars in there. Elon is the one that destroyed it and destroyed the $20 billion value of it. So anyway.
Then Tucker gets knocked off of Fox. Why? He said it because he bumped up on the limits one too many times and the Murdochs got rid of him.
No, because he is a pathological liar and keeps getting sued and going to get sued even more in the future. And they're tired of paying billions of dollars out of their pocket when he doesn't actually give a shit because it's not coming out of his pocket, right?
But now these two have joined forces. My prayer is that Twitter now is going to recover the vitality and the traffic it had before. Elon's not.
It's not. It's going to be even more of a right-wing circle jerk than it is. Once Blue Sky goes public and allows everybody to in, it's going to be MySpace at Twitter. I think even Elon knows that at this point, and he doesn't really care. as long as Twitter's not being used to push progressive politics, that's all Elon really cared about. So
not going to lose money because God put it on him to buy it. And this is all a sign that truth is coming back, Gene, into our country, and that if we will hold to the truth and be courageous, we will see the populist uprising of a faith community, bringing awakening to America and restoring this destroyed civic structure. I think Tucker, I said it all along, and the New York Times quoted me on it this week, Tucker is a secular prophet. He's someone in the community of journalism that God is speaking through.
That's right. Secular prophet Tucker Carlson. Man, God has a bad taste in humans for sure. And then apparently Tucker has decided in 6 weeks he's finally stepping down. Remember, he put the poll out and he asked the public if they wanted him to step down. He promised he would abide by the poll regardless of what it says. And then it said, get lost turkey. And then he was like, I ain't abiding by this poll. Well, finally, apparently he has destroyed Twitter so much he decided to put a new person as the new CEO of Twitter. And meet the new boss, same as the old boss. It's just a female version of himself, basically. He went out and found a chud, a right-wing dipshit who has all his same beliefs and will spread all his same narratives. Now, obviously, Elon is not actually stepping down. He might be putting her in place as a new figurehead, but behind the scenes, he's still going to run everything exactly like he did before. It's like Vince McMahon claiming he's going to leave the WWE. Like, nobody with a brain in their head is going to believe that for one fucking second. So anyway, it's going to be the same fucking bullshit. This lady he handpicked was handpicked by Trump to be on the President Council of Sports. So it's one of Trump's lackeys. Her name is Linda Yaccarino. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that correctly and do not give a shit. And just as you would expect, this chud lady, following all the same right-wing accounts Elon loves, Libs of TikTok, Babylon B, Cat Turd, J.K. Rowling, Turfsy Gabbard, Vivek Ramaswamy, Ron DeSantis, Mike Pompeo, Richard Greno, Jesse Waters, Dinesh D'Souza, Maria Bartimauro, Russell Brand, Jay Bakatachaba, Carol Matabacha, Morena Davan, all of the chud accounts, exactly like Elon does. So it's exactly why Elon picked her, right? He just wanted somebody he could control that will do his bidding. But of course, Elon sycophants are pissed off. Obviously, one of the reasons they're pissed off is because she's a woman. And the entire right wing right now, I can't believe Elon put a woman in charge of Twitter. And it's no doubt that that's a lot of it. A couple of them are just outright saying it. He's like excited to announce the new chud CEO I hired. And Scotty Pimpin, alpha male, says, I speak for everyone, all caps. On Twitter, when I say we don't want a woman CEO, you don't speak for me, I don't give a shit. The sex of the CEO of Twitter makes no difference to me. It's what they do, the policies they implement, and I know that she's just going to be a yes man to Elon, so what's the point? But apparently, she is an executive chair for the World Economic Forum. Guess what the World Economic Forum is? Basically, it's this conference. It's organization for super fucking rich people to all get together and decide how they want to run capitalism worldwide. And as you might imagine, it is full of right-wingers, right? Chuds, rich folks. Most rich folks are chuds anyway. So the vast majority of people that are members of this organization, they go to these conferences, the vast majority of them are right-wing. But that doesn't stop the right from believing in these conspiracy theories. Believing that the World Economic Forum is some kind of den of the deep state, the Illuminati. It's all right-wingers trying to indoctrinate us. Globalists trying to overtake our planet, right? The Great Reset, which was their idea after COVID to make some radical changes in capitalism, supposedly make things better. It's rich people talking, so I don't believe them. But the Great Reset is one of the giant right-wing conspiracy theories going around out there, and it takes place at the World Economic Forum. So automatically, regardless of how right-wing this lady is, regardless of how she's handpicked by Trump, regardless of the fact that she's following all the same right-wing accounts, spreading all the same right-wing bullshit that Elon Musk does, it doesn't matter. The fact that she is the chair of the World Economic Forum is enough to make the right-wingers hate her guts, think she's some member of this deep state conspiracy, and giving Elon Musk the business for it. And I kind of love it. I kind of love how easily these people turn on Elon Musk. He is so desperate for their love. Dude literally paid $44 billion to try to look cool for Iron Mouse Chong and Cat Turd. So, hurting his feelings bad knowing that all these people just turn on him in the blink of a fucking eye. But that's what you get when you're dealing with trash humans. They're willing to discard you at a moment's fucking notice, Elon. There's nothing you can do to make these people happy in the long run. Case in point, I think I'm canceling my Blue, they said after he announced this new CEO. Same. Elon Musk, she is really the one? Question mark. We the people will be giving Twitter the Bud Light treatment. Love to see it. Boycott the shit out of it, folks. Do it. Do it. And yeah, conspiracy Twitter is currently in meltdown after finding out Elon Musk, likely Twitter CEO appointment, Linda Yaccarino, is an executive chair of the World Economic Forum. And yep, I hope it's really a bad joke, but this is reportedly the new Twitter CEO, pro-mask, pro-vax, and a participant in the World Economic Forum. Oh no, said the blue check mark. Ashley blue check mark. Hey Elon Musk, will Tucker Carlson still be able to talk about the WEF like this with Twitter's new lizard overlord lady running the show? Good question, Elon. Dom Lucre, another blue check mark. Remember when they used to use the word blue check mark as a criticism? Oh, the blue check marks are all upset today. And now it actually is a valid criticism. Amazing how that happened. Dear Elon Musk, I have exposed WEF, George Soros, Klaus Schwab, Club of Rome, Mossad, and ADL. If the new Twitter CEO has 1 ounce of bias, it has been a pleasure. Yep, see ya, says Dom Lucre. And Liz Churchill, blue check mark. The last thing Twitter needs is a CEO that's on the board of the World Economic Forum. Why is it so hard to find someone that's not a Nazi? I wonder, probably because Nazis love the new Elon Musk direction. He's literally covering for them and banning independent journalists from exposing them. Pretty simple. And yep, even Cat Turd mad. Poor Elon, I almost feel sorry for him. He spent $44 billion, already lost over $24 billion on the Twitter deal, trying to impress Cat Turd. And even Cat Turd not having it, Elon. Cat Turd is like, Elon Musk, ... The woke mind virus is a threat to the world. Definitely, this is all real life, real bullshit. Also, Elon Musk, I just hired a far left loon deeply infected with the woke mind virus to run Twitter. Twitter 2.0 was fun while it lasted. Get ready for it to suck again. That's right. Even though every piece of evidence we have suggests she's a right-winger, definitely handpicked by Trump, definitely follows all the same right-wing accounts, even follows you, Cat Turd. But somehow she's a left-winger. This is how hard it is to appease chuds. Nothing you can do. And yep, I do hope they all go elsewhere. Cat Turd, who is followed by this woman, who is Linda Yaccarino, Elon's woke and WEF linked Twitter CEO. She's so woke, y'all. She's so woke. Right wing as shit, but she's so woke. And yeah, cancel my Blue today, says Valerie blue check mark. I'll have a check mark to the end of the month. I'm not paying anything to support a wokey. Yeah. Psh, Elon. Can't have a wokey up there, Elon. And Jane Godskid says, RIP Twitter. It's been a fucking grift. Yeah, you think? Conservatives keep on wandering the desert. Twitter is not our safe haven. Just another wolf in sheep's clothing. Should have known. Are you saying you're a safe space? Even James Woods angry about it. James is like, and now the rumor is that a WEF person will take over control of Twitter. That didn't take long. Bye-bye, Twitter. Hey, bye-bye, James Woods. Hasn't been nice knowing you. And I agree with America's Lounge singer. Insanely hilarious how quickly these people have turned on him. Yep. The sycophants of Elon now calling him a devil worshiper, basically. He's literally wearing a Baphomet suit on his Twitter profile. Does that not tell you something? I thought this was some kind of Mortal Kombat goofy bullshit he wore for Halloween. Remember the implants in our brain he is pushing? I do remember that. You guys were all on board for getting the brain chip. Does his support for transhumanism raise a red flag? I mean, not particularly. His support of Nazism and right-wing talking points and turning Twitter into a Chud circle jerk, that's a red flag a bit. And then, by all accounts, the new CEO appears to be right-wing cool. They are, regardless of what you guys think. Have like tweets from every right-wing chud, all kinds of right-wing stuff. If you look at their likes, it's all liking the same bullshit right-wing narratives. But nope. She's a wokie, y'all. She works for the WEF. She works for all these rich billionaires trying to make more money off capitalism. So definitely woke. And the replies to his tweet announcing her as the new CEO are breathtaking. Like, I'm excited to welcome Linda Yaccardo as the new CEO of Twitter. And Billboard Chris, let's see. Usually it's the check marks. Oh yeah, cat turd. Elon, the woke mind versus the threat. I already read that. We had a few good months, y'all, said Dylan Claire. It's over. Here you go, Twitter. Free speech. WEF Elon Musk. Free speech is gone. Trolling the users, running the company. Elon. Yep, it's all over. Dude, she's part of the WEF. I know. Ron Swanson's mad. Everybody's laughing. They're all laughing at you, Elon. These are your boys. These are your people. They're turning on you. It's all going to shit, Elon. Love to see it. But hey, one person not turning on you, Elon. The big guns are coming out to try to get your attention. Kevin Sorbo, Jercules himself, is not disappointed. In fact, just the opposite. You need to meet with him, Elon. And I'm 100% sure he's not going to ask you for money. Why would he? He's definitely not going to be like, Elon, you need to back my shitty movies, right? Please help me get my acting career launched better than it is. I'm a massive fucking failure and embarrassed. Please give me money, Elon. Definitely Elon, 100% DMing Kevin Sorbo right now. Wink. Losers. You deserve each other. That is my He Shall Be Elon section. You guys got to think about that. Is it a beautiful thing? Watching Elon sycophants turn against him. James Woods is a plank. That's an insult to plank. Whiny piss babies. I love to see it, though. Freaking out. Turning on him. Hey, Dust Bunnies. What's up, John Pelosi? Good to see you. Hell yeah. This is sad. It is sad, but it's also amazing. Love to see it. The dream is over. I know, right? You guys thought you were going to have a right-wing safe space. I mean, you have Gab, and then you have Truth Social, then you have Telegram, and then you have Getter, and then you have, all of them, right? And now you got one more, and it's still not enough. It's never going to be enough for you guys. You are the snowflakes you've been waiting for. And move along, folks. What time is it? All right, cool. How many people are watching now? Let's see. Is it pumped up any? 687. That's garbage. Garbage numbers. Garbage fucking numbers. Anyway, it's time for, speaking of trash, it's time for Trash World. Trash World? A trash world? It's a dumpster fire. It's hellish. It's a trash world. A trash world. Everything sucks all of the time, especially the ratings. It's Trash World. Starting us off on tonight's Trash World. Oh, Destiny. Oh, my God, Destiny. Oh, so disappointed in Destiny. Man, Destiny. Like, dude's a smart guy. Speaks well. Has a good retention of facts. Can just spew off data off the top of his head just rapidly. Normally has pretty good takes. But he is so in love with being an edgy boy. I guess the reason is because that's what gets you views, right? Being controversial gets people to talking about you like I'm doing right now and gets you views. And I guess maybe I should do that more. I don't know. I'm not really going to do that. I'm just kidding. I'm not actually going to fucking do that. But anyway, apparently to own the libs, he decided to give $10,000 to the Atlanta Police Department. I don't know about you guys, but I'm owned, right? Some of us work and have busy lives. Can't believe you couldn't wait 4 days for $10,000 anti-police funds. So I went ahead and just donated the $10,000 to the Atlanta Police Department. So, those of you supporting Destiny, that's what he's doing with your money. He's giving it to cops, right? Because He's an edgy boy, right? Wants to. I don't even know anymore. It's just so sad and stupid. All of it's so fucking sad and stupid, right? Of all the things you could get giving your money to, like animal sanctuaries, hungry kids, just like literally anything. They just want to show his ass because that's what gets ratings, because it just doesn't have a shred of integrity. Just nothing. Except for getting clicks and making money, clout chasing. That's what it's all about. Just so depressing how well it works, how effective it is. How this is what our goddamn trash society rewards over and over again. And anyway. Speaking of shit it rewards. Ethan Ralph. There's a show called The Kill Stream. Pretty popular show, right, on Rumble. I have no idea how anybody watches this stuff. This shrieking jackal. This guy whose voice is somehow even more annoying than mine is. Yet hugely goddamn popular. Here he is with a guest wishing that transgenocide was real. And then got up and like, oh, I'm just joking. Yeah, I'm just joking.
But people that are like transgender are clearly severely mentally ill. And you see a woman that's severely mentally ill, like in Nashville, getting pumped with testosterone, probably not a good mix, as we saw. And with especially also another factor is the media hyping up this so-called transgenocide, which I wish was happening. No. It's not.
No. So disavow, by the way.
I'm kidding.
Good God, folks. Who watches this shit? I mean, I know who watches it. Dregs of fucking humanity, but good God. Like, this is really the best that you guys can find to support. I mean, I know that you're the lowest of the low. You're the bottom of the barrel. You're lowest common denominator, but holy goddamn shit. Unbelievable. And speaking of transphobes and those who literally make them living spreading trans panic and fear and hatred towards trans people, libs of TikTok, Chaya Ratchik, or whatever the fuck her name is, Ratchet, that's what I'm gonna call her. So apparently she hasn't been around much lately and done a lot of posting. And here is Seth Dillon, who was publicly, passively, aggressively calling her out for not posting enough because it's a business. If she doesn't post all the hatred, all the doxing, all the disinformation about trans people, if she doesn't spread the hate, they don't sell the t-shirts, they don't get clicks to the website, the money stops coming in. Seth runs her LLC. He knows exactly what's going on with her behind the scenes. But by publicly posting this, it sounds like passive-aggressive threat to her to post more because he's financially invested in the Libs of TikTok brand. So he's like, I can't believe, or I can't be the only one who's noticed that we don't see much from Libs of TikTok anymore. I hope everything's okay with Chaya. She says she's fine, but it's not like her to be inactive on here. And yeah, it's a money-making operation. That's what he's getting at here. As Matt Bonner says, it's wild how this guy was just so passively aggressive announcing that her LGBTQ harassment quotas were way down this quarter because this whole thing is a business model for him. And it is. Hate is a business model for these people. They don't care who's hurt. They don't care whose lives are destroyed. They don't care what violence they spread. It's all about money. It's all they're about. They have nothing inside, just a gaping fucking void where their integrity and morals should be. And this is the kind of shit Elon's rewarding. This is the kind of shit they're all fucking rewarding. And Trampaw's back. Remember Trampaw? Buck Angel. I don't fucking get Buck Angel. He was one of the pioneers of the trans movement. He like went first, took a lot of slings and arrows. Should be a hero to the future generation of trans people. But he climbed the ladder and then he pulled it up behind himself. Something about this dude, he felt special doing it. He felt like he overcame a lot to be a trans public figure. And he hates the fact that because he led the way, it made it easier for a lot of trans people to come out. And now for some reason, he no longer feels as special as he did. And he wants to feel special, like he's one of the chosen ones, the few chosen true trans people. And he literally rejects the transness of other people, in which he helped make it easier for to begin with, which is so sad. He could be a hero. Instead, he chooses to be this. Buck Angel says, you need to be diagnosed by a real therapist, not affirmation therapy, with gender dysphoria to be transsexual, period. Whatever else you choose to identify as is on you, but it isn't trans. You cannot self-identify as trans. It's a mental disorder that needs actual diagnosis. Stop co-opting a mental disorder. Yeah, that's right. All of you are not real trans. Only I'm one of the few real trans because I've actually been diagnosed by a professional as having gender dysphoria. But obviously this is so fucking stupid. If you have cancer but you haven't been diagnosed with it, does that mean you don't have cancer? It's just stupid. Yeah, does this mean somebody has cancer but doesn't get a diagnosis? Then is it not actually cancer? It just doesn't make any sense. And as Katie says, being trans isn't a mental disorder. But even if it was, this wouldn't make any sense at all. You don't become depressed or ADHD or whatever by being diagnosed. You literally can only get diagnosed by already being it. Absolutely clown logic by the king of pick-me's, and he is. It's just nonsense. It's so transparent, Buck Angel. A lot of your self-esteem clearly is wrapped up in the fact that you're this trans icon, right? You're this trans hero that came before people, and when it wasn't socially acceptable, you dealt with the slings and arrows and you battled through it. And you hate that anybody else might also be on your level. But I mean, it's just sad that you won't be as accepting as of other people as people were of you. And you have to come up with this bullshit nonsense logic to try to make yourself feel special. Have some self-reflection, dude. Seriously, what's wrong with you? And somebody on my Twitter sent me this message. They said, hey, Cult of Dusty, I bet you $10 super chat. And I want to see if you're here. Oh, what the hell? Are you here with your $10? I bet you $10 super chat that you won't mention this on your show. Where my money at, bitch? So, drag performer gets prison time for pimping kids. So, I went and clicked on it, folks. So, this person went out. They did their Google search. They researched it to try to find a trans person that was actually a pedophile. And they found one. From 2012, March 8th, 2012, 11 years ago. This is the example that you found. You went and searched, you did your best, you got out there and you looked as hard as you possibly could to try to prove to me how many trans people are actually pedophiles. And the only example you could come up with to give me was from 11 years ago, before Drag Queen Story Hour was even a thing. Now, as far as I know, no one is suggesting that there are no transgender people who are pedophiles. Obviously, transgender people are exactly like everybody else on the face of the fucking planet. And a small percentage of them are bound to be pedophiles, yes. The argument that I've made is not a single child nor a single parent has come forward to claim that their child has been groomed in connection with a Drag Queen Story Hour. And they haven't. Not a single one. Now, one of the main reasons is because Drag Queen Story Hours are very public. They're chaperoned. You have people watching you at all times, unlike church, you know. Unlike sending your kids to be prayed for at your preacher's house. There's people all around. Not a single person has come forward to say in any way their kid has been groomed by this stuff. No one is claiming that it's impossible for a trans person to be a pedophile. But the fact that this is the best example you come up with from 11 years ago doesn't prove the point you're trying to make. It actually does the exact fucking opposite. Hoisted by your own petard, you fucking dipshit, man. Anyway, where's my $10, bitch? And then on the trash world. Yep. Average of 600 mass shootings a year happen over the 3-year span. Yeah, 600 mass shootings a year happen over a 3-year span. That's not very well worded, but anyway. No way to fix this, says America. Trans people exist. 64 anti-trans bills passed. 376 currently active. It's a very unserious party. Not willing to do anything about the children being murdered. But when it comes to trans people, can't have a fucking enough laws for it. This is what they're wasting our goddamn time with. This is what they find important. And what is this? Oh, yeah. So the Allentown shooter, or the Allen, Texas shooter, covered with swastikas and SS lightning bolts, told us exactly why he was a white supremacist and why he's leaning towards Nazis, even though he has a Latin heritage, right? We don't need any more evidence this is true. We have all his social media accounts that have been verified. We know it's true. So this week, the right has done everything they can to pretend like this guy wasn't a Nazi or to distract from it, because otherwise they would have to take responsibility for the stochastic terrorism they're spreading. The fact that this is one of their boys, that the fear and hatred that is par for the course in their right-wing rhetoric is exactly what inspired him. The Redhead Libertarian, popular right-wing account. The Mexican-Russian neo-Nazi story is getting too much pushback. Better release the Trump verdict. That's what I love about conservatives. They list 2 horrible things that conservatives are doing, and somehow they cancel each other out somehow. It's wild. The neo-Nazi story wasn't getting any pushback, unless you mean Elon Musk lying about it and then literally banning the independent journalist who outed the story, if that's what you mean. And yeah, release the Trump verdict. I guess that's some kind of conspiracy theory against Donald Trump. Or, and hear me out, maybe he actually did sexually assault the woman like the jury of his peers held him accountable for. Maybe. And yeah, all of them, folks, redheaded libertarian, it's a psyop. They're all claiming it's a psyop now. It couldn't possibly be this guy is telling the truth about why he did what he did. All the information that proves that these are his accounts, no, they can't be true. It's the government that did it, folks. And Elon Musk spreading this bullshit. It gets weirder by the minute. It's a psyop. No responsibility from these people, because they want to continue to spread right-wing narratives. They want to continue to spread hatred and fear, indoctrinate people into these right-wing narratives. They don't have any kind of responsibility for what they've done. 0% chance that Elon Musk believes any of this is a psyop. Neither does I Am Mouse Chong. Neither does the redheaded libertarian. None of them believe this. But like I always say, they would rather have you believe that they believe it. Even if you know that it's stupid, they would rather have you believe that they believe something stupid than you to believe the truth. And the truth is, they don't believe any of this. They know they're spreading hatred and fear. They know that they're encouraging these right-wing terrorists, and they don't give a shit. They have no intention of stopping. They don't care about you. All he cares about is making sure right-wingers take and maintain power so he doesn't have to pay a goddamn extra dime in taxes. That's fucking it. But he can't say that, so he's got to say, I believe it's a psyop. Got to be the government. I don't believe it for a fucking second. None of you believe it. And Tim Pool out here doing what he do. We know that the shooter was a Tim Pool fan. Spread all kinds of Tim Pool videos. So Tim Pool crops out the story. How do we know the account was his? The BBC has examined the material, and we can be confident the suspect was the person behind the post, to which Tim says, confidence is not confirmation. Y'all fact check, in my opinion, with conjecture. LOL, y'all losing. Yeah, we're totally losing. Just because they're confident doesn't mean it's 100% confirmed, he says, as he cuts this article down to one sentence. But if you actually read the real sentence, they give all the evidence that lets them know all the reasons they actually confirmed it was the guy. Garcia appears to use the account on social network popular in Russia as an online diary. Photos in the account also showed a distinct tattoo on his hand. The shooter also posted images of the mall and its location on Google Maps. In addition, open source investigations found YouTube channel with a video showing Garcia taking off a mask. Material on the channel was also posted on the Odolowski account. So all the confirmations, it was his. But yeah, y'all be losing. He says he refuses to take any responsibility for what he's done, but he doesn't care. Tim Pool is not even a human being anymore. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not trying to dehumanize Tim Pool in that way. Because it gets dangerous when you dehumanize people like that. And I don't want to do that to him. But, and I guess I can't say he's not a good person anymore because I doubt he's ever been a good person. But it just seems like he's gone past the point of no return where that bit of humanity that probably once existed in him seems to have died off, and he doesn't give a shit about anything instead of just making money. Just the grift all day long. That's all he thinks about. Grift so he can make more money, so he can have his shitty paid for band, his vanity projects, right? So he can pay $1 million to have a jumbotron on Times Square of his face or whatever. Who gives a shit who's hurt? Who gives a shit how many Nazis he inspires to kill people, right? He'll just deny it all day long and pretend he's winning as he rakes in $50 million a year. And yeah, like I said, he is the one that helped inspire this guy. We know the guy posted Tim Pool videos all over the place. We know he was inspired by Tim Pool. So what does Tim Pool do instead of taking responsibility for doing any kind of self-reflection, any kind of change whatsoever that might lead to a better outcome for his fellow human beings, that might lead to less violence, less death, and less murder? Now, instead of taking any responsibility, he immediately tries to change the subject and throw trans people under the bus because this is what he is. Tim Pool says, oh boy, does this mean I'm going to start trending again? A trans person executed 3 children in Nashville. Yeah, hey, I inspired a Nazi, but think about the trans person that shot up a school, folks. Let's change the subject on trans people. Let's throw trans people under the bus to distract you from what I fucking did. This is who he is. Then he got on his show. And instead of taking any responsibility for what he did, he blamed the Nazi that he inspired on multiculturalism.
Know about the slain Texas Mall massacre suspect, Mauricio Garcia. Garcia, who had a tactical vest, was armed with a rifle and a handgun. A senior law enforcement official said. Authorities said he was a suspected neo-Nazi sympathizer. Now, this story it's a tragedy. It's unfortunate. And we have, unfortunately, too many of these stories that end up happening in the media. Or I'm sorry, that end up happening and then end up hitting the media. So, I mean, the first thing I just want to say before we get into any of the politics from either side is, yeah, we don't want these things to happen.
Then why do you keep encouraging them? Why do you keep spreading lies and misinformation that these people themselves are posting and spreading? Why are they fans of yours? Why, instead of not taking responsibility for it, do you immediately throw trans people under the bus? If you don't want this to happen anymore, Tim, why don't you own up to what you fucking done and change? Because you don't actually care.
We want these things to stop. We need to figure out what the issue is in our society, in our culture. I genuinely believe it's disassociation. It is a dejected society where individuals don't know or care about each other. And they seek validation or they seek to push some extremist ideology.
He's literally describing himself. He does not care about society. He does not care about his fellow man at all. All he cares about money and clout for himself. And he will spread any extremist ideology he can to make that happen. Every accusation is a confession.
And then this whole thing creates a recipe for disaster. And I'll put it simply, I think it's multiculturalism.
Definitely.
And not the idea that people of all different types are holding hands on the rainbow. It's that you have different communities stacked on top of each other and next to each other with wildly different views, and they don't like each other. And then people who are crazy will do crazy things.
It's multiculturalism, y'all. Not the lies I spread. It's not the fear. It's not the panic. Multiculturalism, of course it is. Fucking scumbag. And then, folks, when it was repeatedly pointed out to him that the shooter the Nazi terrorist, the murderer, was a fan of his. His response means nothing to me. I think it's funny.
I mean, I got to be honest, like, I think it's funny and I really just don't care. I think we've won so much ground in the culture war that it is completely meaningless that they would even do it, assuming it was a psyop. It's just, it means nothing to me.
I mean, he's right. It doesn't have to mean anything to him. He's not going to suffer any consequences from it. He's still going to make his $50 million a year. He's still the most popular right-wing influencer in the world. His audience does not care. So I guess there's a reason he could be flippant about it and think it's funny when he inspires mass murder of children, right? Who cares? Not Tim Pool.
It's just funny.
The fact that every chance they get there,
it's just hilarious. It's just so funny. It's just so funny that I inspired a Nazi to murder little kids. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. YouTube going to keep me up there. Not just keep me up there, but fix the algorithm to where the algorithm pushes more people my way, puts me in top spots, broadcasts me on the first page, shows my videos to people that don't even subscribe to me or follow anybody that follows me. But at least some good news this week. The ex-Marine who murdered Jordan Neely turned himself in. They charged him with second-degree manslaughter, I believe. Here's him turning himself in. Psycho murderer. He is now the new darling of the right, the new Kyle Rittenhouse. Because, of course, he is. You murder a black homeless person, and they love you for it. And rapey Mike Siderovich, who you guys might know from his rape support tweets, says, disgraceful. This is in awe in moment. What the fuck? God, I can't even type. This is a moment for the country. I don't even know what he's saying. And everyone who claims to support it. If this man is allowed to be lynched, everyone else may as well wait for their own trip to the gulag. It will be inevitable. Yeah. I mean, he's the one that literally choked another man to death. Yet somehow it's him being lynched, right? I have absolutely no fear of being next to Mike Siderovich because I am not going to murder a homeless person or anybody for that matter, right? Had I been on that train, I would have just either moved another cart, or if I felt the need to de-escalate the situation, I would have de-escalated it. The last thing I would have done is choked the man to death, so I have no fear of being next. And the fact that you do says a lot about you, right? But of course, Tim Pool, it's always opposite world with these people. Up is down, black is white. Tim Pool says, he posts the story first off. Manhattan DA to charge former Marine in subway chokehold death, which is a good thing. To which Tim Pool says, if an NYC liberal gets arrested for defending themselves from a murderer, they go to jail. This guy was not defending himself from a murderer. What is he talking about? Jordan Neely didn't murder anybody. He was on a subway. He was definitely loud. Might have been scary. Black man being loud on the subway, yelling about how the fact that he was tired of being homeless. He was hungry. He was tired of not having nothing. That he was ready to go to jail because at least in jail he would get 3 hot meals and a place to live. But he didn't murder anybody. If an NYC liberal gets arrested for defending themselves from a murderer, they go to jail. I don't care who you are. You choose to live in this place. I think it's funny. It's just completely divorced from reality in every goddamn way. Just lying about the situation in order to cover for psychopathic murderers. And YouTube, Gonna put him at the very top of the list so he can make $50 million this year, folks. And yep, America, here we go again. 58-year-old Louisiana man shot a 14-year-old girl who was playing hide and seek with her friends. He saw shadows outside his homes and he started shooting. She survived, luckily. Let's put these motherfuckers under the jail. They want to say mental illness is the problem, and maybe it is, but maybe our entire society from top up is goddamn mentally ill, right? Maybe we're all fucking mentally ill. Maybe the whole system is mentally ill. And that's my trash world. Man, I've been sort of a downer these last couple of shows. I'm sorry to be such a fucking downer all the time, but it's just hard not to be. It's hard to see the worst among us get rewarded so heavily, so fucking heavily. Starts to feel hopeless. Like our society doesn't even deserve to continue. If this is really who we are as a people, this is what we support, this is what we reward. Who even are we? And all right, I guess I'll got 732 people watching right now. All right, I got. If you guys want to be a patron, I could use more patrons or whatever, I guess. Let me read the super chats. All right, I'm going to try to cheer up here. I should have took me a caffeine pill. I didn't take me a caffeine pill today. My bad. So I got to cheer up here with being such a negative Nancy. Becky Rumfeld got me $19.99. Very generous. Thank you, Becky. I really appreciate it. Dusty, is it me? It was me and my dogs who put those demons in Texas pretty far out, huh? Thank you. You guys are awesome, Basset Hound. Thank you. Oh, kitty support from Figments, Ominets, Twitty. That's a very hard name to pronounce, but it's very generous. Thank you, Figments. Good to see you tonight. April, what's up, April? Good to see you. $25. Sorry, I can't contribute as much as I normally do. Hey, you've done so much for me in the past. You don't ever have to apologize. I have to tighten up the purse straps a bit. I had to replace my entire HVAC system this week to the tune of $12,000. It still wants to support the show, though. Yeah, I had to replace my whole roof. It's going to cost me $15,000 to replace my whole roof, and I don't really have the money. I see my numbers drop in, and I see the fucking patron drop in, and it's just depressing. I don't know what to fucking do. Caster Troy, $4.99. Wish I could stay up to watch live, but I live in England and work Saturdays, and the show starts at 2 a.m. here. Keep fighting the good fight, Dusty. I'll do my best. I appreciate it. Dookie Boomers, $99.99. Hey, very generous. Thank you, Dookie Boomers. Hang in there, bud. I believe the pendulum is swinging. We need you. Is it, though? Is it swinging? I don't know. I'm starting to get less optimistic as the days go on. I just don't get it, though, really, to be honest with you. I don't understand why right-wing media is so popular. Left-wing media is just not. Why left-wing people don't support the left like the right supports the right. I just don't get. How does Steven Crowder get 120,000 live viewers and I can't crack 800? How is that possible? It's not because he's 120 times more talented than I am. It's not. Like, it just don't make any sense. Scott Randy, $20. Hey, thank you, Scott. I appreciate you. Very generous. Flip Cyborg, $55. $5 rather. I am always watching. I just don't always feel like chatting. If I could donate hundreds of dollars to you every show, keep fighting the good fight. I appreciate you. I'm sorry for being so bitchy tonight. It's unattractive, and I don't like that about myself. I'm going to try to stop. And April S. Socialism gave 5 Cult Dozen memberships. Very generous. Thank you, April. You guys better be at the after party tonight. Beast Nation, $5. And I'm woke, y'all. And I'm woke, y'all. And I'm woke. And I'm woke. And I'm woke, y'all. Hell yeah, I'm woke as a motherfucker. You know it. Thanks for the constant sanity check, Dusty. Hey, no problem, Urban Moss. Thank you for the $20. It's very generous. Sweater wearing a tree, $10. Got YouTube notification 15 minutes late. Shocker. It's like they're fucking with me or something. Da-da-da from Mudbutt. Religious leaders need to pay their taxes. Yes, they do, but no one is ever going to make them, so it's never going to happen. For the fur babies, hell yeah, Blazing Chronic. Gonna see a new kitten on a future show. Haven't named it yet. You guys got to come up with a good name for me. Cuban 1972, $5, probably just $2 or $5 a show for a few months. I gotta pay my credit card. Dusty, buy yourself a coffee. I appreciate it. You do you, Kubert. $5 from Brian. Keep up the fight. I will. I'm gonna keep that good fight, Brian, just for you. Mark or Robbo, $2. I'm not the dude who posted that bet, but I'll pay you for him. Yeah, where he at? Lying bitch. But thank you, Mark, for stepping up for him. $2 from Django Fed. Hey, thank you, Django. Appreciate you. Jason Ashby, $10 Canadian. Hey, what up? Jason Ashby, good to see you now. Pat's fan, $420, $10. In the last 70 years, nobody have molested and raped more kids than religious clergy. In all religions and the Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts in America. Fact, I'm a victim of both. I was lucky to avoid all of that shit, so I never got molested by anybody. But yep, you're right. Not a single protest for any of that stuff. Imagine admitting to raping 80,000 kids and your organization still existing. Crazy. The Trekkin' Hoovian, 5 pounds. My only exposure to James Woods was in Family Guy, where he played himself, and he was a recurring villain of the show. He was a vile piece of work. Yep, pretty much like real life. I remember him from Videodrome. The EMFB, $10. I'm going to work, but I'm dropping this off first. Hey, I appreciate you. The struggle is real, yo. I'll catch the rest of the show later. Keep up the good work. I got to start being more upbeat on these shows. I got to get back to my circus voice. The evil and hurt and humanity is insurmountable. Don't tell me that. I want to surmount it. Justin Joseph, muscles are required. Intelligence not essential. Muscles are required. Intelligence not. Oh, yeah. I heard that. Yarb, $50. Oh, 50 gifts. Holy shit. 50 gift subs. That is some amazing socialism right there from Yarb. Hell yeah. I expect to see all of you guys at the after party and give Yarb a bunch of your love because he deserves it. Amazing. Appreciate you, Yarb. And 500 CRCs from Fizzle Pop. Amazing. I don't know how much that is, but I love it. And Jim Wynn, $3. Appreciate you, Jim. Thumbs up to you. And Elijah Plummer, $4.99. Feeling generous. Curious to know how it went from being Pentecostal to the porn industry. I was actually in the porn industry when I was a Pentecostal. You can justify anything to yourself. And I told myself, hey, God wants you to have this money. Like, if you didn't do this, some perverts would be doing this. And the perverts would have the money instead of you having the money. So God wants you to have the money so you can do good things with it. And I didn't do any good things with it. I planned on doing good things with it. But instead, I bought myself nice cars and houses. So basically, I was just a hypocritical piece of shit like all Pentecostals. That's your answer. And hell yeah. Yarb a hero. Agreed. And all right, let's go ahead on with this depressing ass show. A little something I like to call What the Fuck. Maybe this will cheer us up. What the fuck? And first off, on to tonight's What the Fuck, I'm going to start doing the circus voice again, folks. I'm going back into the circus voice. Hell yeah, prepare yourself. I can't believe it, this is true. Apparently, this is an actual ad from the FBI. That's how bad it's getting in this country, y'all. The FBI is putting ads out to explain how you're supposed to behave if there is a mass shooting in your location. Warning, some of the content you're about to see may be disturbing. Viewer discretion advised. Yeah, it's disturbing that this is put out by the FBI.
Hi, can I get you started with drinks?
Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta take this.
We'll need a minute.
No, I'm here.
Hey, you need to back up. You can't be here anymore. Get out of my face, what, man. You think I'm afraid of you? Get off, man.
So,
911, there's a clip.
And then, what? Mass shooting happening. Everybody duck, y'all. What the fuck? Yeah, and then they're like, oh my God, run! Run! And then go tell the police and hide! Hide behind shit! Life is terrifying! You guys are gonna die any second now! Oh my God, I can't believe I survived the mass shooting! And they're like, run! If you hear guns, run and duck and go to the emergency exits! Y'all, be terrified! America, it's the new normal. Yeah, Jesus, man, I know. Scary country we live in. And then on What the Fuck? So, Before you see this, folks, apparently this woman lived. I think she lived. I think she did. So apparently over in China, I think it is, they have these cages on the outside of your apartments. Apparently they put babies out there and shit, pets, and sometimes they just hang out, but they also have like metal bars still, so you can't just break in to people's houses. So it's functional. Anyway, this lady, hornier than any woman has ever been, climbing up multiple stories to try to get to her lover. Let's see how that goes for her. And she's like, yeah, gonna get to my lover. And no, that's not what you want. That's not what she fell. But apparently she fell on some mopeds. Seems like she's still alive. So lucky. That is a lucky lady. And not very athletic. No, not a good climber, but lucky nonetheless. So don't do that, I guess, is the moral of the story. And just imagine the pain, folk. What is wrong with people? So this guy decided to go to an MIR with a butt plug in. Why you would do that, I do not know. I guess he a freak. You really... Such a freak, you got to have a butt plug in at all time. You can't even take your butt plug in out for 5 minutes to go get an MRI. Really? Really? Clearly, this guy just wanted to like have it in, so when they do the MRI, they'd see it. They'd be like, huh, they saw my butt plug on the MRI. Anyway, he thought the entire thing was latex because it said 100% latex. Unfortunately for him, it had a metal ball in the center of it, not latex, and it shot up into his chest cavity. Yeah. Greatest personal injury case I've ever heard. Chris Goodnow, it's been bad now. An estimated Valley attorney has picked up a client who is suing a sex toy company. Said client purchased a butt plug that was advertised as 100% silicone. Client wears butt plug to MIR appointment. Much to client's dismay, butt plug is in fact has a metallic core. Butt plug is accelerated at the speed of sound into the client's chest cavity, described in memo as an anal rail gun. Client survived with major injuries. Yeah, I would think so. Anal railgun seems like major injuries to me. Just saying, folks, if you're going to get an MRI, I don't care how plastic you think that butt plug is, might want to take it out. Unless, like, you're into anal railguns or whatever. If that's your thing, then do you. And then, holy shit, folks. This is why you don't call the cops for anything. Even when someone is suicidal, don't call the fucking cops. So apparently this dude was suicidal. They called the cops to do a welfare check on him. And here's what happened. Yeah, his mama standing right there. Just don't give a shit about her. Just fire. Shot him how many times? 50 rounds into his truck. Just immediately opened fire. Shot at him 47 times during a mental health crisis, folks. So, yep. What do they care? They won't have to pay a penny out of their own pockets. It'll be the taxpayers who have to pay this. They believe they have the right to murder you for anything. Hey, you going to kill yourself? Let us do the job for you. Don't even have to lift the finger. Full service cops. And then one more on the what the fuck section. And warning, do not watch this. This is death. A death is about to happen. And this is an older video. Don't even fucking tell me. God damn it. Do not tell me it's an old video. I already know, but I've never seen it before, so it's new to me. This happened 11 years ago. And this is tonight's award winner for the Darwin Awards. Do not watch this. So they're at a wedding. And he's shooting his gun in the air. He's like, yay! I mean, first off, don't do that because bullets go up and they come back down again. Easily, bullets can fall and kill people This is ridiculous to do this. And then he's like, hey, I'm just going to put this loaded gun down on the table in front of my baby. Hey, what's the worst that could happen? Nothing. It'll be fine. I'm 100% sure this is going to be fine. And then, yeah, the baby's got the gun. And, yeah, then the baby shoots him in the heart. Yeah, that's what happened. And then he died. So, yeah. What do we learn? What do we learn? Don't give your loaded gun to your baby, I guess. You'd think some lessons wouldn't have to be learned, but then here we are. So, poor kid. Got to be traumatized for the rest of his life. Think about how he murdered his dad. And, yeah, belly up! Deleted. All right, that is my what the fuck section. Hell yeah. What you guys think about that one? I know it's old. Do not tell me it's old. I will jump through this goddamn internet. Get every one of you mofos. No, it's not old. That was a new video. Haha. Turned it around on you. Darwin Award genius. Yes. Old. Yes, I know it's old, Yarb. Didn't expect that. I set it up, so you should have saw it coming. Who the fuck was filming that? Dona? Got the money shot, though, for sure. What a dummy. Guns are bad. Yeah, it's old. I know it's old. Ideal Paradox. Cruising for a bruising. And, all right, let's move right along, folks. I know what you've been waiting for. Time for Chud Watch. Talking about Chud Watch. We talk about chuds and we make fun of them. And first off, on tonight's Chud Watch, real human being Vivek Ramaswamy proposing to raise the legal voting age to 25. Like, I am convinced this guy is somehow a weird mixture of these two characters from Parks and Recreation. I mean, if these two dudes had a baby, it would be Vivek Ramaswamy. Acts exactly like these two dudes mixed. Anyway, I wonder why conservatives are having such a problem with a youth vote. It's a mystery.
Amendment to raise the age from 18 to 25 years old. But he says there should be some exceptions.
We want to restore civic duty to in the mindset of the next generation of Americans. And how we want to do it is to say that if you want to vote as an 18-year-old between the ages of 18 and 25, you need to either do your civic duty through service to the country. That's 6 months of service in either military service or in a first responder, including police, fire, or otherwise. Or else you have to pass the same civics test that an immigrant has to pass in order to become a naturalized citizen who can vote in this country. At age 25, that falls away. So in a nutshell, what we're proposing is a constitutional amendment to raise the voting age to 25.
You know, Kaylee, apparently, according to Politico, he'd been mulling this over for a while. He got a really positive reception to suggesting it from a lot in the immigrant community who actually came up to him. And apparently that, quote, sealed the deal.
Yeah, totally. The immigrants were like, fuck them kids. Make them work for it. Yeah, they know they ain't getting the youth vote. So what do? Just take their vote away from them. Don't let them vote. Brilliant. Let's see if that pays off. God damn it. Gonna have a one-party system. They're destroying themselves right before our very eyes, folks. And then on the Chud Watch, I told you guys it was going to happen. Trump was going to get found liable for, I said rape. They didn't find him liable of rape. They found him liable for sexual assault of E. Jean Carroll. Let's take a look.
We're looking at something. Number one, did Donald Trump rape E. Jean Carroll? The answer is no. This is the verdict. Yes to number two, did Donald Trump sexually abuse Miss Carroll? The answer to that from the jury is yes. So no on rape, yes on sexually abused. We got to go down to number four. On the jury form, Miss Carroll was injured as a result of Mr. Trump's conduct. The answer to that is yes. And they have awarded her $2 million.
So she got like $5 million total, something like that. Yep, got found liable for sexual assault. The leading candidate for the Republican presidential office, of course. So clearly, Republicans care about this. They're like, we can't believe Donald Trump got found liable of sexual assault. We take this very seriously, and we're no longer going to support. I'm just kidding, of course. Here's first Tapioca, his lawyer, because this is the best lawyer he could find. When you don't pay your lawyers, this is what you have to settle for. Was giving a conference after the verdict was read, and somebody screaming at him that he's a Neanderthal. Pretty funny. Let's have a look.
But again, they found him not liable for the rape.
What do you make of the fact that they decided? What do you make of the fact that they so quickly decided on?
Definitely a Neanderthal. Tapioca, not the best, but the best Trump could get. And then they asked. A jury just found Donald Trump liable for sexual abuse. Do you still support him? I bet he doesn't. I bet he's going to say, no, I don't support him. I bet he's not going to be a weasel and try not to answer the question.
Mr. Speaker, a jury just found Donald Trump liable of sexual abuse. Do you still support him?
You know what? I've been in this meeting. Let me find out what they say.
I don't even know anything about what is sexual. Who is Donald Trump? What? I don't even know these words. What is even English? Weasel. That is what Republicans do. And then I asked Tippy Turtle here, Mitch McConnell, the same question, and I bet he's gonna have morals and principles and stand up for this lady who got sexually abused. Right, Mitch?
Do you accept as legitimate the verdict in New York finding that Donald Trump was liable for sexual abuse and defamation?
That's about presidential politics, and that'll all be settled in the primaries next year.
What about the verdict?
No, it's nothing to do with the primaries. The jury found him liable. The fuck does that do with the primaries?
Next year.
What about the verdict itself, the merits of the verdict?
It's all, I don't have any observations about it. The American people are going to have to decide, particularly Republicans and Democrats, who they want to run for president.
I don't have any opinion. Like, who gives a shit if he sexually assaulted someone? If people still vote for him, that's all that matters. We don't have any integrity. We don't stand for anything. All we want is votes and powers. Yep. Exactly what you'd expect. And then, folks, here's the situation we find ourselves in. They're doing exactly the same thing they did last time to try to make Donald Trump president. CNN giving him unlimited press, unlimited free advertisement, exactly like they did before. Now, CNN is now run by a Trump supporter, a billionaire who's gone on record saying that he wants CNN to be more like Fox News because he thinks Fox News is fair and balanced. So you got CNN platforming Donald Trump with a hand-picked moderator who is a right-winger, about to show you, filling the audience with nothing but Trump supporters so he can basically have his own rally, broadcast to millions of people so he can say whatever he wants to say. Fox News is going to get right back on board once he's the candidate. We'll be shilling for him 24/7. Joe Rogan, the number one podcaster in the world, going to be shilling for him. Believe me, it's going to happen. Twitter, one of the most important social media websites, Elon Musk, going to be shilling for him. The establishment going to be circling their wagons trying to push Donald Trump on us. And unfortunately, we have a system that allows the person that gets the less amount of votes to win somehow because of the slave era system that's still in place. This is what we're facing. Exactly the same thing that happened last time. So CNN, with its new right-wing overlords, decided to give Donald Trump 2 hours to spew lie after lie after lie after lie, to gish gallop in a way that can't be fact-checked, to an audience of sycophants cheering him on like it was a stand-up comedy act. And this is the woman they picked to moderate him.
Do with the immigration crisis.
Good morning. Okay, so George Soros is this foreign-born left-wing guy who essentially wants to change the nature of our country. And in this data dump, one of the memos was about the refugee crisis. And they made 3 points. They think that they've been successful at influencing immigration policy across the world. They think that the refugee crisis is an opportunity to continue doing so. And they think the refugee crisis is the new normal. And George Soros is this guy who is a staunch advocate for open borders. He wants people to be able to go wherever they want, whenever they want, for whatever reason. And for him, he sees this immigration policy, this crisis, as a vehicle to further his immigration agenda.
So, right wing spreading George Soros conspiracy theories, of course. And this is the woman that CNN picks to moderate Trump. Well, he just says whatever he wants to say. Here he is talking about how he's going to pardon the January 6 traitors who try to overthrow our government and install him as a dictator.
And what they've done, and I love that question, because what they've done to so many people is nothing. And then what they've done to these people, they've persecuted these people. And yeah, my answer is I am most likely, if I get in, I will most likely, I would say it will be a large portion of them. You know, they did a very, and it'll be very early on.
Yay, gotta punish all the traitors who did the coup. Totally cool, CNN. And then he got on there and disparaged the woman he sexually assaulted, folks. Made fun of her like she was a stand-up comedian bit he was doing. And the audience laughed at her. A day after he's found liable for sexually assaulting this woman, he once again slanders her, makes fun of her on CNN, and they laugh.
Her dog or her cat was named Vagina. The judge wasn't allowed to put that in. All of these things, but with her, they could put in anything. Access,
this
Hollywood.
This was a jury of 9 people who found you liable of sexual abuse. Do you think that will deter women from voting for you?
No, I don't think so, because I think the whole thing, just so you understand, ready? I never met this woman. I never saw this woman. This woman said, I met her at the front door of Bergdorf Goodman, which I read.
Yeah, never met her, even though there's a picture of them together. Here's this detailed story where he basically smears her again, and they laugh.
I never met this woman. I never saw this woman. This woman said, I met her at the front door of Bergdorf Goodman, which I rarely go into other than for a couple of charities. I met her in the front door. She was about 60 years old, and this is like 22, 23 years ago. I met her in the front door of Bergdorf.
She's 2 years older than he is.
Goodman. I was immediately attracted to her, and she was immediately attracted to me. And we had this great chemistry. We're walking into a crowded department store. We had this great chemistry, and a few minutes later, we end up in a room, a dressing room of Bergdorf Goodman, right near the cash register. And then she found out there were locks on the door, so she said, I found one that was open. She found one. She learned this at trial. She found one that was open. What kind of a woman meets somebody and brings them up, and within minutes you're playing hanky-panky in a dressing room, okay?
He's slut-shaming her as they laugh.
I don't know if she was married then or not. John Johnson, I feel sorry for you, John Johnson.
Mr. President, can I...
He's literally slut-shaming her, even though he paid off a porn star that he was having an affair on his wife with. He's not a slut for that. No, but she's a slut. I feel sorry for your husband, and they're all laughing. Literally, CNN allowing her to be abused again. And here he is. Hey, I never went into that store. I never went in that Bergdorf Goodman. I rarely even went in there. I don't even know anything about it. Here he is on The Apprentice.
You are going to be rewarded really, I think, beautifully. Since you spent the last 48 hours designing clothes, I thought now you'd go and buy some clothing. Bergdorf Goodman is one of the great stores anywhere in the world. It's right across the street from Trump Tower. You'll be going to Bergdorf Goodman. You'll be buying a lot of different things for yourselves, and you're going to have a fantastic time. This woman said, I met her at the front door of Bergdorf Goodman, which I rarely go into other than for a couple of charities.
Yeah, right across the street from Trump Tower. You barely ever went in there, I am so sure. But of course, the CNN boss thinks the whole thing was a success. Said, we made a lot of news. It is not your job to make news, CNN. It is your job to report news. Folks, if you still have cable, if you still are paying for satellite, what is wrong with you? It's 2023. Learn to torrent already. This is kind of beside the fucking point. I just want to show you guys something real fast. So down here, there's a thing called Plex, right? I have made a channel for my buddy Jeff in there. I call it Jeff TV. Okay, this is how stupid all of you are for still having cable, for still paying for satellite. Let me show you Jeff TV. I've used Plex to create a channel specifically for Jeff, okay? Jeff has his own channel now of all his favorite TV shows and movies. Everything Jeff likes, 13 Warriors, American Made, Birds of Prey, all the Creed movies, Godfather, Gettysburg, Hostiles, all the Marvel movies, all the Thor movies, all of Zombieland, Young Guns movies. He likes war movies, TV shows, all the TV shows he likes. No commercials. They're on whenever he wants to watch them. He just clicks on it and he watches them whenever he feels like it. Pause it, go to the bathroom whenever he feels like it. What is wrong with you paying for cable, people? It is so outdated. If you're worried about getting in trouble, use a VPN. They can't tell where you're downloading. Learn how to torrent. It is not difficult. You literally just click a button. It's so simple. Quit paying these motherfuckers. Anyway. Yeah, man, this is CNN, folks. Of course, right after all the usual shit stains, the chuds were out there celebrating how wonderful CNN was for allowing Trump to lie with impunity for 2 hours. Stephen Miller, thank you, CNN, for giving President Trump a platform to speak directly to the American people about his plans to save America. Stop World War III and restore peace and stability in the world. Yeah, thank you. Totally cool, CNN. Cat turd. Trump just won the presidency. Thanks, CNN. Yeah, they're celebrating you, CNN. Hey, thanks. Great job, CNN. Of course, this is exactly what CNN wanted to do. They want Trump to be president again. They get better ratings when Trump's president. All they care about is money. They don't care about us. They don't care about our society. They don't care about America. Money. That's what it's all fucking about. And even those who should be better than this have sold us out. Anderson Cooper, God damn it. What a fucking disappointment. So basically, they trotted him out there, and what he said was, "Hey, I understand why you guys are all outraged, but basically, you're a bunch of snowflakes. You're a bunch of snowflakes who want your safe space. And hey, ignoring Trump won't make him go away." He's basically insinuating that, I guess, giving him carte blanche to say whatever he wants to lie his ass off for 2 hours to platform his bullshit is going to make him go away. It doesn't make any sense. This makes no sense. You're a fucking shill, Anderson Cooper. Fuck you. Let's listen.
Many of you have expressed deep anger and disappointment. Many of you are upset that someone who attempted to destroy our democracy was invited to sit on a stage in front of a crowd of Republican voters to answer questions and predictably continued to spew lie after lie after lie. And I get it. It was disturbing.
You don't.
It was disturbing to see and hear that person refer to a black law enforcement officer as a thug, an adjective he used many times to describe black men, and call Caitlin Collins, the moderator, nasty, which is what he calls any woman who stands up to him. It was disturbing to hear him speak so highly of QAnon conspirators and insurrectionists who assaulted police officers in our democracy on January 6th. And it was awful to hear him spread ridiculous lies about the election. And it was certainly disturbing to hear that audience, young and old, our fellow citizens, people who love their kids and go to church, laugh and applaud his lies.
Right. He's given all the reasons you guys absolutely should not have platformed him in this way. Everything you listed is why there's no excuse for it, Tucker Anderson. Anderson Cooper.
And his continued defamation of a woman who, according to a jury of his peers, he sexually abused and defamed. As good a job as Caitlin Collins did trying to fact check him, it is impossible to fact check fully because he lies so shamelessly.
Right. That's why you don't give him the platform to do it, right?
Now, many of you think CNN shouldn't have given him any platform to speak.
Yeah.
And I understand the anger about that, giving him the audience, the time. I get that.
Right?
But this is what I also get. The man you were so disturbed to see and hear from last night, that man is the front runner for the Republican nomination for president.
We know because of you guys. You guys are helping. You guys did it the first fucking time, and you're helping him do it a goddamn again. You're an accessory to it, Tucker Carlson.
According to polling, no other Republican is even close. That man you were so upset to hear from last night, he may be president of the United States in less than 2 years.
Yeah, because of
and
you.
That audience that upset you, that's a sampling of about half the country.
No, it's not.
They are your family members.
It's about 30% of the nation.
Neighbors, and they are voting. And many said they're voting for him. Now, maybe you haven't been paying attention to him since he left office. Maybe you've been enjoying not hearing from him, thinking it can't happen again. Some investigation is going to stop him. Well, it hasn't so far. So if last night showed anything, it showed it can happen again. It is happening again.
You're making it happen again.
He hasn't changed, and he is running hard. You have every right to be outraged today and angry and never watch this network again. But do you think staying in your silo and only listening to people you agree with is going to make that person go away?
Basically calling us snowflakes. Hey, I guess us platforming him is going to make him go away. Is that the alternative logic you're giving here, Tucker? Hey, more people hear him speak if we just let him bullshit for 2 hours. Gish Gallop lie his ass off to an audience of sycophants who are cheering for him. I guess that'll make him go away? Is that what you're saying, Tucker? Just fucking stupid as shit, dude. Whatever respect I might have had for you is gone. As Mehdi Hassan says, this is what's known as a false dilemma fallacy. Do not pay these motherfuckers. Cancel your satellite. Cancel your cable subscription. If you're paying them, you're part of the problem. Stand for something, folks. Stand for something. And yeah, remember, CNN was like, hey, we had to get rid of Don Lemon because he was sexist. He was so sexist. He said Nikki Haley was past her prime. We can't have sexism on this channel. How can you get more sexist than to let Donald Trump get up there and defame a woman he was just found liable of sexually assaulting while your audience laughs, CNN? Fucking hypocrites.
So now the company's part of the story, too. CNN recently, very publicly, parted ways with anchor Don Lemon. It came in the aftermath of the comment he made on his broadcast that was viewed by his managers as misogynistic. And those very same managers are the people who aired Trump's misogynistic attacks last night on E. Jean Carroll that could invite further defamation suits.
Right, I guess they're going to resign any second now, right? You guys aren't hypocrites, right? I'm going to hold my breath for sure. And I agree with AOC. AOC called them out. This falls squarely on CNN. Everyone here saw exactly what was going to happen. Instead, they put a sexual abuse victim in harm's way for views. This was a choice to platform lies about the election and January 6th with no plan but to have their moderator interrupted without consequence. Yes. Cancel CNN. Do not watch that fucking trash. But at least the Biden administration has taken the opportunity to put out some pretty good campaign ads. Like this response, directly aimed at the CNN town hall train wreck.
We should grow the economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down.
Getting rid of Roe v. Wade was an incredible thing. I was able to do it, and I was very honored to do it.
The past 2 years, we've created a record 12.7 million new jobs.
January 6th, it was the largest crowd I've ever spoken to. They were there with love in their heart. That was an unbelievable, and it was a beautiful day.
The price of insulin went from $400, $500, $600 a month down to $35 a month. It saved the government $160 billion.
It was a rigged election. We had a rigged election. I thought it was a rigged election. The election was rigged. That election was rigged.
Yeah, which way, Western man? The choice is pretty stark. But if CNN has their way, we'll have another 4 years of Donald Trump for sure. And apparently this woman was in a local cafe or restaurant or something, and she decided to record the conversation. The old white fucksticks, the Donald Trump supporters, the maggots sitting next to her were saying. Let me just play it.
But you're standing right there. He said he'd never seen her. And he said, well, I didn't know her. All I done was rape her.
At least he was honest.
Yeah, he didn't know. He just raped her. It's so hilarious. Are we the bad guys? Yeah, you're the bad guys. You're real bad. Not the best, Trump supporters. Meanwhile, at Mar-a-Lago, yeah, a song by a bunch of gay guys about being gay, stolen by the orange turd and used for his campaign. Because, of course, weird and not a serious party at all. And then, folks, crime hero George Santos went public and let us know how tough he's going to be on crime. He says, crime is at an all-time high in New York. We need the state's elected officials to do their jobs and keep us safe. 9 of the recently released criminals from Rikers Island are behind bars 3 weeks after their politically charged release. We are in desperate need of law and order in New York. That's right, law and order. So, of course, he was immediately arrested and charged with 13 counts, including wire fraud. Let's have a look at his press conference. See how that went for him.
You guys, look, this is the beginning of the ability for me to address and defend myself. We have an indictment. We have the information that the government wants to come after me on, and I'm going to comply. I've been complying throughout this entire process. I have no desire not to comply at this point. They've been gracious in there. Now I'm going to have to go and fight to defend myself. The reality is I'm sorry, it's a witch hunt. Because it makes no sense that in 4 months, 5 months, I'm indicted. You have Joe Biden's entire family receiving deposits from nine family members receiving money from foreign destinations.
Just what about Hunter Biden? That's all they have, folks. Try to change the subject. And they even asked him outright, hey, why would you apply for unemployment benefits when you were making $120,000 a year? Answer me that, con man.
In an orderly fashion, and we'll start right here. Go ahead, Rachel.
Why would you apply for unemployment benefits when you had a job making $120,000 a year?
Rachel, this is part of my defense. This is inaccurate information, and I will get to clear my name on this. During the pandemic, it wasn't very clear. I don't understand where the government's getting their information, but I will present my facts.
Prosecutors say that you got over $20,000 in unemployment benefits, sir. How is that acceptable?
Ma'am, like I said, my employment was changed during the time. I don't understand where the government's coming from. I'll present my defense.
Yeah, I don't understand. Where are they getting this, folks? Where do they hear that I qualified for unemployment during this time? I have no idea who they heard this from.
Loans. So they were recorded before this indictment for the charges that include allegedly illegally taking unemployment benefits, which, you're going to hear this for the first time tonight, George Santos discusses here on tape.
So the way I look at it is they're not understanding. The question is simple. George, why was your income $55,000 in 2020 and why is your income drastically higher? Well, here's the answer to that. We struck a deal with the company so nobody went unemployed and got reduced to like a very basic salary, just so we, as we called it, livable wages in the company, so we can get by, because our industry was capital introduction vis-a-vis conferences, vis-a-vis speed dating, all that in private equity, and managing limited partner, general partner relationships and investment groups. So, long story short, I went from 2019 bringing in $400 and something thousand to, in 2020 my reported income was $55K. It couldn't be more legitimate. I actually qualified for unemployment. And
I actually qualify for unemployment. Hey, if you made $55,000 a year, you don't. Turns out I know a little bit about that, and I wonder where they could have possibly gotten the idea. You were unemployment there, Santos. It's a mystery. And then, at least they finally did it, folks. They finally found a drag queen that was committing felonies, and it's about time. Shocker, it turned out to be Republican. I don't think anybody's really surprised. And then they uncovered this old video of him on the macro dosing podcast, talking about he's not a thief, folks. He's never stolen anything in his life.
Yes, I've been misrepresented for clicks, right? I mean, there's a lot of narratives out there that we have submitted tons of corroborated evidence for them to be clawed back or to...
What's the main one you think that...
I mean, I'm being accused of being a thief. I'm not a thief. I've never stole anything in my life, right? I'm being accused of swindling a veteran for charitable donations.
The check fraud thing, though, check fraud thing in Brazil. I mean, I feel like when you say like what you've been accused of and how it's been proven not to be true, the check fraud thing is still very much alive in Brazil, right?
It's not. It's actually dwindling down and it's being dismissed.
That's right. It's not a thing. I've never stolen anything in my life. It's dwindling down and it's being dismissed only.
U.S. Representative George Santos signs a deal with Brazilian authorities to avoid prosecution stemming from a 2008 fraud case. That comes just a day after he pleaded not guilty to federal fraud and money laundering charges here in the United States. Santos appeared before a Brazilian judge via Zoom. He's accused of stealing a checkbook in Rio de Janeiro and buying $1,300 worth of clothes and shoes. According to the deal, Santos had to confess to the crime and agree to pay $2,800 to the victim and $2,000 as a government fine.
I've never stolen anything. That's all going away after I pled guilty and admitted to doing it and paid fines and shit. So, nice. But typical MAGA fashion, folks. If you're not fundraising, you're not doing it right. ABG always be grifting. He's back at it. Posting, I asked questions about Miles Gual and the DOJ indicts me 5 days later. The fight is real and I'm over the target. I need your support to keep me fighting for freedom. MAGA. Trump was right about everything. Stop the CCP. Free Miles Gual. Yeah, it's the Chinese are trying to get me and because I'm a Trump supporter. Hey, I'm so innocent, y'all. It's a witch hunt. Better send me money. It's so sad to know that there are people out there that are actually going to send this dude fucking money in this trash universe. And, more good news. Texas man who killed a BLM protester gets 25 years. This is the guy that Greg Abbott claims he's going to pardon. The white supremacist who went and murdered the Black Lives Matter protester in fucking cold blood. Got convicted by a jury of his peers and sentenced to 25 years. So, your move, Greg Abbott. I think at this point he's probably not going to do anything because it would be politically negative for him to do so. But who the fuck knows? And then Candace Owens telling us some shocking stuff this week. I can't believe my ears.
Tennessee Girl 79 said, I'm proud of you, Candace. Not that I'd expect anything less. What we need is more people standing up to these entitled brats and woke idiots. I have a friend with Tourette's syndrome, and that is not how they behave. Nobody with Tourette's thinks about being TikTok famous. That is correct. Before she began all of this, she said, I'm going to be TikTok famous to the police officer and calmed down. Suddenly, her mental illness seemed to get into check when I yelled at her. And we need more public shame. I'm a big believer in public shame, and I'm glad that you guys got to see this circumstance happen because just so you know, I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. I am the #1 Karen in society. I go around and I shame people perpetually in public because the way that they behave, especially at airports, there's just no decorum. It needs to be shamed. More shame, guys, not less of it. Tennessee Girl 79 said,
right,
I'm proud of you,
folks.
Candace.
According to Candace Owens, she's the biggest fucking Karen there is. And this just in, no fucking shit. We already knew that, Candace, but thanks for clarifying. And folks, the system is so broken. When Marjorie Trader Queen joined Congress 2.5 years ago, her wealth was 1.5 million, which is crazy to me. How the hell did she have 1.5 million 2.5 years ago? That's insane to me. But now, after 2.5 years in Congress, Marjorie Taylor Greene's wealth, her net worth, $40 million. Explain that shit to me. How is this legal? It's because our politicians are just bought and fucking paid for. Citizens United says corporations can spend unlimited amounts of money. All bought and fucking paid for. And man, being evil is so lucrative in this goddamn society. Another example of it. Christine Sinema went from net worth of $32,000 to $11 million in 4 years on a Senate salary of $200,000. Explain this shit. Every single one of them should be under investigation. Every single one of them should be put in fucking jail for this bullshit. Gotta be a time America gets tired of this shit. And one more on the Chud Watch. Man, they're so crazy. So first off, all right, here's the post. This is the post from Shannon Michaela. 166,000 followers. Social media consultant, another one of these right-wing influencers, posted this picture. An established and complete woman is one with a white husband, a real white baby, some white kids, and then a victim of feminism. Men I've whored myself out to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, only 33. That's a low body count. I'm just saying that's not even that much, to be honest with you. College debt, shackled, a big black dildo. Of course, it's fucking black, y'all. Why wouldn't the big dildo be black? Got wine, she a wine mom. She can do it. Rosie the Riveter got pizza in her hand and a cat, fucking cat. Of course she does. Here's the crazy part. The original picture, folks. They whitewashed it. They turned the dude white. They made the baby whiter. The original picture is an established and complete woman, also an established and complete woman. Both of them. You don't have to have a family. You don't have to do the traditional thing. You could be complete as a person without a mate even. But just crazy. They had to whitewash it. They had to white supremacy it. And did they make her darker too? Looks like her skin tone is darker than it was. She was a little too hypey here as a white girl. They had to make her a different shade, I guess, to make her look sicker and shit. But hilarious and racist. They even made the white woman whiter. Holy God. They had a bunch of ugly ass white kids. Fuck y'all white kids. And anyway, that is my Chud Watch. Hell yeah. What you got to say, DSPs? Let's just generalize that woman. We know who she really is. Yeah, let's just make fun of this cartoon, this shit we made up. But she's bisexual, so she's cool. Hell yeah. Bad for both teams. That's the way to do it. Propaganda 101. She got pizza, 100% there. Yep, I am jealous. I cannot have pizza this week. I got to get back on my diet. And all right, folks. Who loves overtime? All of you. Every one of you motherfuckers loves overtime. So we're going to do one more section. Last chance to get your super chats in and support the greatest show in the history of mankind. So do it to it. We're going to do a Beyond Parody section. Finish us off here. Prepare your anus. It's Beyond Parody. Beyond Parody! And starting us off on tonight's Beyond Paradise, the transvestigators are back, folks. And do you know who's obviously trans this week? Jennifer Aniston from 1999. It's true. Look, folks. She got abs, even though these are probably photoshopped or sprayed. Doesn't matter. If she's a real woman, then how do you explain abs and her crotch? Look at her crotch there. Clearly got a large penis. Fucking trans people were everywhere the entire time. They've been all among us hiding like transformers. There's more than meets the eye. How did we not see this the entire time? Psh, friends, my ass. And then, folks, if you're wondering how they do this, how they're so easily able to spot trans women hiding amongst us, there is a method to their madness. Meet trans investigator Queen Awake, a toxic Insta influencer. Gonna explain exactly how she spots them in the wild.
Okay, listen up. It's 2023, and if you can tell the difference in a male and a female, you're a bigot.
Definitely.
Please make it make sense.
I can't.
There's a difference in a masculine-looking female and somebody who has male skeletal markers.
Definitely.
Let me show you what I mean. This is supermodel Naomi Campbell.
Oh, man.
This face has all male skeletal markers.
Totally, man.
Brow ridge, deep-socketed eyes.
Look at that brow
cannon in her
ridge.
Jaw, wide dental arch.
Now do the bump on her head next. Do the bumps on her head. I love phrenology.
But remember, you have to confirm with body. So let's go check out the body.
Confirm it. You got to confirm
This is
it.
all confirmed with male
You can't jump to conclusions, y'all. You have to confirm it with additional evidence.
skeletal structure in the body as well. Okay, we're shaped like an
Look at that
upside down
man's body.
triangle. We have the shoulders wider than the hips. There's a little bulge too, if you see that.
I saw
we
it.
also have a straight across clavicle. We have longer
Clavicles.
limbs. We have really big hands. We have the Adonis belt. Let me show you the skeletal markers on an openly trans person, and you can compare the similarities that they have in bone
All right, let's do this.
the same skeletal markers that I just named off with Naomi Campbell, this person has, and they are openly trans. Here is a side-by-side picture.
Side
As you
by
can
side.
see, they both have straight across clavicles. They both have the same facial structure. They have shoulders that are wider than their hips. They're shaped
Yes, this trans woman looks exactly like the same body type as a cis woman. Not sure that proves what you think it does, but okay.
like upside-down triangles. Like, they legit both have male skeletal markers. The only difference is this one is openly trans and this one isn't. You cannot be born a biological female and have 20 of the opposite skeletal markers.
You
Stay
can't.
wide awake.
Stay wide awake,
Skeletal
y'all!
markers can be kind of tricky at
So
first.
tricky.
So I'm going to let you
First.
know some things that I did to get really good at this.
She's so
the
good.
The first thing that I did was go to Bright Green Barbie and study what skeletal markers look
Study.
like. I went and studied openly trans people on their social media platforms and compared skeletal
Stalk 'em.
markers to that so that I
Stalk
could
the
like
shit out of
train
'em.
my eye to what it looks like when you are the opposite gender.
Trained
I
eyes.
went and looked at just like regular people out in town. And I went and looked at celebrities and what I knew about skeletal markers and what I knew about trans skeletal markers and what I knew about normal people. I went and I looked at these celebrities and they all had the opposite markers.
Right.
I also knew that their God was transgender. I also knew that Satan was a master deceiver.
Definitely.
And I also know that God says to be fruitful and multiply. But if you can
Definitely, there you have it, folks. Trained her eyes, knows exactly what to look for, and they're hiding amongst all the celebrities this whole time. It's a conspiracy, y'all. Goddamn trans people. So powerful, the trans community. So powerful everywhere, all at once. Amazing. And that on Beyond Parody. Oh, yeah. Apparently, Dan Bongino and Stephen King still having their giant fucking feud, folks. Dan Bongino says Biden is a disgrace to the humankind, an embarrassment to the human race in every respect. To which Stephen King, did you know Stephen King is 6'4"? I looked that up yesterday. Giant among men, Stephen King says. Yes, but he's got a real job, not a podcast. Okay, that's hurtful. That's a little bit hurtful, to be honest with you, Stephen King. All right, I take that personally. Not everybody can be an award-winning, famous author, Stephen King. I tried. I wrote a book. I even dedicated it to you, Stephen King, in hopes that you would see that I dedicated it to you and get me a shout-out to all your fans, and then I would sell a bunch of books. Yes, it was a very transparent, naked attempt to make money, and it didn't work, so fuck you, but I love you still, Stephen King. Anyway, so then Dan Bongino, genius that he is, replies to Stephen King, billionaire Stephen King, the most successful author in history, pretty much. Yeah, you're right. Millions of listeners a day on a podcast while you're watching porn in your mama's basement. Yeah, you know, Stephen King, the billionaire, definitely watching porn in his mama's basement. I mean, good God. This is the level these people are. He's talking to Stephen King, and literally, this is the only insult he could think of. Gotta be more clever than this. Say something like, hey, Stephen King, your books are derivative of each other. It's either a killer clown, a killer bat, a killer car, a killer dogs, always some killer bullshit. Be original. Or how about something like, hey, you're not even that good, Stephen King. There are a lot of authors not as famous as you who are way better. You know, like Bachman. Bachman way better than you, Stephen King. Need to learn some lessons from Bachman. Anyway. Yearning for the days that people actually gave a shit about your dumb ass. Nice comeback, dipshit. Get a job, loser. Just good God, he's talking to fucking Stephen King. Telling Stephen King to get a job. It's telling Stephen King that his comeback is bad when he's accusing Stephen King of being in his mama's basement. Wow, people. All right. Beyond parody. Can't make fun of them. Doing a good job themselves. And then did you see? Buckaroo Nick Fuentes got in a fight. Apparently, he was hanging out with his little sycophant dipshit buddies. And I think one of his buddies insulted him a way he didn't like. I think he called him something like a cum searcher or something. Remember when Nick Fuentes was searching his couch for cum stains because his incel buddy that he was secretly in love with was living in his basement and he had sex with a girl, and Nick Fuentes got all mad and upset because he wanted to break off a little piece of that for himself. So he was like searching the couch for cum stains. So I think the guy called him a cum searcher or something. And anyway, he fights exactly like you would imagine that Nick Fuentes fights.
Wait, you need to stop. Don't fucking touch him. Stop. Yeah, we will. Sure. Just fucking stop.
You just walk away.
Poor dork. This guy's such a dipshit. Nick Fuentes is probably his hero. Didn't mean to get in a fight with him. And of course, Nick Fuentes punches exactly like you would imagine he would. Like a girl. This is not how you punch, Nick Fuentes. You got to put your shoulder into it. Your hip. It's a turn. You don't punch the person. You punch through the person. It's like a freight train, and the person's in the way of the freight train. Nick Fuentes. Good God, dude. Good God. Beyond parody, though. Nobody's surprised. And then, speaking of Beyond Parody, folks, Josh Hawley's new book is out. Manhood. The Masculine Virtues America Needs. And he picked this picture on purpose, folks, for his book on manhood. Because there's no more masculine picture than this. Like, good God, what is wrong with conservatives? They're the least masculine people on earth. Tucker Carlson, Matt Walsh, Benny Shapiro, Lindsey Graham. Just the fucking biggest pussies on the goddamn planet. Continuously telling us how important masculinity is and how beefcake and alpha they are. Practical, down-to-earth, and urgent manhood, the masculine virtues America needs is required reading for every American patriot. Oh my God, dude, why did you pick this picture? What is even happening with your face there? Do you have Bell's palsy? I got questions. And one more. Let's finish it off with this one, folks. And this one is goddamn beautiful. Mwah, mwah, mwah. 3 chef kiss delicious. So, Arizona Senator Wendy Rogers had a hearing today about her restraining order request against a reporter. Apparently, this reporter showed up at her house uninvited. And she wants a restraining order against her because, according to her, there is no reason that anyone should show up to your house uninvited. She gets owned, y'all. Let's watch.
No explanation justifies someone coming to my private residence whether or not I answer their inquiry on text.
That's right. You heard her. No one has a right to come to your house regardless of the reason. No rights to come to my house.
Whether or not I answer their inquiry on text.
How many times have you run for public office in the state of Arizona?
Objection relevance.
I promise I'll tie it up, Your Honor.
I'll allow it.
Are we counting primary and general or cycles?
Anytime that there will be a name on a ballot.
I will generalize that answer to say I ran in 6. I have run in 6 cycles.
And during those cycles, I presume you had campaign staff.
It would depend on the scope of the campaign, but I'm a frugal campaigner, so very few staff, if any.
Did you go out and search for votes yourself?
Affirmative. I've knocked on tens of thousands of doors, more than you can imagine.
Did all those people invite you to knock on their door?
I went as a campaigner, and they could have said to leave if possible.
Right.
What I would do is leave my card and identify myself as someone who is campaigning for office.
Oh, no one has the right to come to my door uninvited for any reason. Oh, I went to tens of thousands of people's door uninvited. Yeah, but it's different when I do it for reasons. Don't think about it. Love it. Gotcha. That was amazing. And hell yeah, great way to end the fucking show. And yes, I'm a better mood now. I'm sorry for being such a stick in the mud early on. What you gonna do? I'm a whiny, crying piss baby. And Super chats, Cupid Lover. There used to be standards on journalism like Walter Cronkite in the 60s. They made sure they got the story right. These days, not so much. Yep, it's all about ratings. They don't give a shit. Lauren Huff, why did Trump not take salary? That's the main point of Trump supporters I've met. He made tens of millions of dollars. Otherwise, it was just a dog and pony show to make it look like he actually gave a shit about people. Beast Nation sounds like rolling up, aiming a gun and yelling hands over and over again on someone who is disoriented. Is that the best training of our officers? They don't give a shit. Like, let us help you kill yourself. Mercs 2046, $20, very generous. Hang in there, dude. Hang in there, dude. Also, if you want to laugh about George Santos, I wrote the Tall Tales of George Santos. All right, I'll check that out. Appreciate it. I'm going to take a caffeine pill next show and not be such a little whiny bitch. I apologize. Jason Warner, I'm being cheap bastard tonight, but your voice is important. I appreciate it, Jason. You're not cheap. You're one of the heroes. No longer dirty, sexy, poor. I'm giving Dusty, you rock. Hell yeah, you do. Brave Squirrel. And Jason Morado became a new member of Dust Buddies. Hell yeah, spam the chat with impunity, Jason. Feeling generous, curious to know how. I already read that. All right. And Jim Wynn, $3. Thank you, Jim. Amazing. I appreciate everybody who was so generous tonight. You guys are the heroes that I don't deserve, but I really appreciate you. And now it's time for the after party with Dusty Smith. Going to switch over. What do we have to cover tonight? We have some heroes, one hero. We have one Karen and some slow news week. So hell yeah, you're not going to want to miss that. There's a link in the description of this video to my Patreon account. Patreon.com/podcast. It's whatever you can afford. I'm not greedy. Just donate literally anything. Help me out if you can. I really could use you guys' help. I got to put a new roof on this thing. My goddamn roof is leaking. It's been leaking for 5 fucking years, y'all. I goddamn had a roof leak for 5 years. I finally have to get this motherfucking taken care of. So help me if you can, please. I beggeth you. And I appreciate you. And all right, gonna switch right over now to the after party with Dusty Smith. Exclusive content for patrons only, and Dust Buddies. I want to see all you Dust Buddies there. A lot of you got free Dust Buddy subscriptions tonight, so be sure to switch over now. You're awesome. Hey, thank you, Jason T. You are hero. I very much appreciate you. All right, gonna play a little Butt Ponies, an original song by Dusty Smith as we switch over. So good night, everybody. I'll see you on Friday. Please leave comments on the video, leave likes, share the video, all the things. You know what to do. See you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend. I love the shit out of you. And as always, till next time, Logic. Fuck yes. Come on in and a thumb up.
Get on down and feel kind of phony, rockin' to the beat just like a butt pony. Get on down and feel kind of phony, rockin' to the beat. Get on down and feel kind of phony, rockin' to the beat just like a butt pony. Get on down and feel kind of phony, butt ponies taste great. G-Lo working at the bell, serving a burrito. He don't care about none of that though. Waiting for the weekend to go, get in the fucking flow. Friday comes, he's out on the dance floor, jump all around like he's a little soul, looking for a girl that he can't take home. Never realized that he's just a big joke. Rockin' to the beat just like a butt pony. Get on down, I'm feeling kinda phony. Rockin' to the beat. Get on down, I'm feeling kinda phony. Rockin' to the beat just like a butt pony. Get on down, I'm feeling kinda phony. Butt ponies taste great. Good night. Switch over now. Gonna drink until he can't see, looking for a way to end his misery. Get on down if you're feeling kind of phony, rockin' to the beat just like a butt pony. Get on down if you're feeling kind of phony, rockin' to the beat. Get on down if you're feeling kind of phony, rockin' to the beat just like a butt pony. Get on down if you're feeling kind of phony. Butt ponies taste great, butt ponies taste great, butt ponies taste great, butt ponies taste great. All right, that's enough of that. Switch over now. Good night.